Welcome back to Simply a Better You. Today I have something a little different for you. As you know, I have mentioned in several videos that we homeschool, but I have not really gone into depth of what we do or how we do it. It's just something I don't feel very qualified to speak on yet. We're still learning and kind of filling out what our daily routine is and what works best. I have found that it changes very regularly. And so I don't feel like I'm ready to really speak out on, oh, try this curriculum, oh, do this, do that. I am a mom that understands and has learned from experience that every single one of our children are unique. They are individuals all to their own, and each one of them have unique needs. So my two daughters that I still have at home that we are homeschooling learn in completely different ways. So what one curriculum works for one child, it may not work for the other. So where some families like to use the same curriculum for all their children, I am using several curriculums for my children because one thing works for Mia that doesn't work for Hannah and vice versa. So I have a wide range of curriculum that I use and that we've kind of tested out and said, nope, this doesn't work for us. And then I also pull things from two different curriculum bases. So I might have 2 or 3 different science curriculums that I'm using, and I kind of intermix them as we are working through any type of unit, whether it's like weather or we're looking at oceans or, botany or something. I'm pulling from different sources, and that's really what our homeschool experience is all about. I'm not using one thing. I'm sourcing the internet, I'm sourcing YouTube, I'm sourcing, curriculum books. We are going to the library. We're looking for a professional that might specialize in this. So we pull things from different areas because my kids learn in different ways, and really I teach in a very different way. I have had to adapt to what works best for my children. So the way I teach something, they may not understand it, and I have had to source a different teacher to teach them, whether that be from YouTube or I find a friend or somebody in our community that can teach the particular subject that we're working on. So I kind of just want to share with you what we have picked up and we're going to make an attempt at using. So I think where I'm going to start with is Masterbooks. So if you don't know where what Masterbooks are, I'm going to leave a few links below in the description where you can go and research these books. Masterbooks is basically a curriculum writer and a publisher. And they have different types of books. They are Christian based. So all of our curriculum that we use is Christian based. I pull in a few secular things here and there, but for Mia, it's really confused her. She's done public school, and then she's also done Christian private school. So she's a little confused about what she's learned in the public school system versus her Christian school education, and it has created a lot of confusion for her. So we've kind of gone back and reintroduced things to her. Hannah, she's only known Christian-based education. So I do like Masterbooks because they provide a Christian-based background in all of their books. That's everything from history, science, and math. Language arts, it's all intermixed in there. So I absolutely love that because we're a Christ-centered home. So everything that we do and everything that we bring into our home, we want to keep it, Christ-centered. So that may not be for you. So this may not be this may not be the video for you today. So feel free. Come back on another day, maybe Tuesday. I think I'm going to actually be sharing with you guys a really wonderful fall cozy dinner. I am making a leftover pot roast. I guess it would be considered like a beef pot pie. So it was kind of a experiment gone right. So you guys come back Tuesday and we'll get back to the good food fixins. But so curriculum we use for language arts or English, however you want to put that, is our language lessons for a living education. So we love these books. They are easy to use. So if you are a mom that is approaching this for the very first time, I feel that Masterbooks is an easy source to use. And the language lessons, especially if you're not an English major of any sorts, breaks things down. It's very easy to read and explain. It has the worksheets built into the book, so you're not working out of two different books. The explanations are in here. They have guides that you as a parent can read to help the child along. All the answers are in the back. It even has some extra practices in the back. So as you're working on like days of the weeks or how to correct grammar, writing, everything is in the back. You have a spelling list in the back that you can use. So I love these. What I would suggest though is before you dive into these for language lessons, that your child has a really good background in fundamental reading. So before you jump this far, for like a first grader, you want to make sure you get all of your basic reading and such out of the way. There's going to be a lot of review. Book number 1, language lessons number 1, immediately starts off with like 4-letter words and sight words and review. So they're assuming that you already know this information coming in. We are bouncing back and forth because Hannah is a struggling reader, so we are still learning her reading fundamentals while we are introducing first grade language arts. And we kind of bounce back and forth. She understands a lot of it. Her vocabulary is phenomenal, but she's kind of struggling with the phonics of just reading. So we bounce back and forth. They have, I believe, all the way up to 10th grade. I think they're adding more books. I'm not for sure, but I'll make sure to list them in the description below. They also have a supplemental reading list you can get online and find to add to these as well, which I like. But everything is built in. It looks like a nice thick book. You can do your whole school year right here, one day at a time. It includes the lesson and the exercise worksheet, and you're good. A lot of people think that a homeschooling looks like a typical day at school, like it's the regular, you're there at 7, you leave at 2. We start school at 7, we're done at 2, and it takes all that time. We're usually, depending on how early we start, we can be done by noon, and some days we're not done till 2. We kind of work through our lunch breaks, or sometimes they get, you know, a break and we'll do lunch and then come back. It just depends. There are days where language arts might take 20 minutes and math might take an hour. So it just depends on what we're working on and how much review we need to do. And that all matters to, that all depends on, you know, where they are, how they're feeling. I tell you, when they have grumpy days or they didn't get enough sleep or they may just not be feeling the best in the world, there are some trying homeschool days. But we can do it in our jammies, so that helps. Let's move on to history. So my girls love history and science, so we may have gone a little overboard in the history and science department. But we have tons of books, tons of resource books, and then of course the curriculum books. Now this will be something new. Right now we're just kind of introducing social studies to the girls. So we have, let me find it real quick. I love this. They're called My Story. My Story in the World Around Me. This is book 1. And then we're moving on to My Country in My World, which is book 2. I love these books. It's basically social studies that's broken down, Christian format for kindergarten, first grade, second grade. I hate to use the terms grade because I have a 17-year-old daughter. She's special needs and she bounces between like a first grade and second grade curriculum. So it's kind of hard to say, you know, use this for your kindergartner, use this for your first grader, use this for your 7 and 8-year-old. I hate to group kids by age or by grade because that's not how we realistically learn. So I use this for both of my girls. Regardless of age or grade that they're in, you can use this and expand on it. This one starts out, is this the one that starts out in the canoe? No, that's the world one, where you're going around the world in a canoe and adventuring, which I love that there's a story that goes with this. I think this one, yes, this one is starting out with family. So who is the family? What is the family? And learning from there, your family's culture, your family's, you know, traditions and things like that, which is basic social studies. And then it moves out into the community, helping hands. What is a city? What does your community do? What's a mayor? What's the state? So it expands and grows. It starts right here in the center of home, and then we branch out and work out into the community. So it makes sense to them because this is home base. This is where we learn and where we start everything. And then we start to see things out in the world, that we just don't live in a city, but we're in a state. And then there's many states outside of our own states. So I love these books, and it has the story. It has your activity time in it. They can write everything in here and keep it. So if you have to provide work to whoever, depending on the state that you're in and what your homeschool laws are, everything can be right here, kept in here with it, or you can tear these out and make little packets of them. So it's totally up to you. Of course, the same thing. Answers are always in the back. Resources are in the back. And, you know, that's something that's there for us parents to kind of make our life just a little bit easier. They have extra practices in the back. So everything, it's just all built in right here, which works for this mom because sometimes I can be a little scatterbrained. But so this is what we're using right now. When we are ready, we are going to expand to, you know, American history, American stories. So, you're looking at the Indians, the American Revolution, the Civil War, you know, things like that, as we are ready. And then sometimes if they have a question, so we live in a very history-rich area. We're in Kentucky. A lot of things happened in Kentucky. There's a lot of history museums around us. So when we see something we want to dive into, that's where we go. So sometimes I have to stop in one curriculum and say, okay, they want to know, so let's go find the answers, and we'll jump over to something else to find those answers. Usually around Thanksgiving time, the girls are interested in like, okay, who were the Indians and who were the Pilgrims and where did they come from and why do we have Thanksgiving? So of course I'm jumping all over the place through history books to offer them some type of explanation. With these books, we have picked up some additional, because they have more. They go through each year. This is the second year. This is third. It says it's for third to sixth grade. And they have the world story, which is 6th to 8th grade. The reason I have already picked these up is, of course, if they have questions, we have resources. And then of course, Hannah, she's only in first grade right now, so we have these for future use. And then we've picked up the extras. Where's my big book of, Oh, it's right in front of me. Okay, so when we went to the ARC experience, they had these there. And I really wanted to get one, but I was like, no, let me wait. Let me do some research and things, and I'll get back to it. But I was fascinated with this book. This is the Big Book of History. It's 15-foot long fold-out timeline from creation, the time of creation, to modern computers. And it's this gigantic map, and I love it. Because so much of what we teach our kids right now, they can't rationalize it to where they are right now. So when my daughter looks at something that I pull out that is old, she's like, oh, Mommy, was that back when you were a kid? And she'll say something like the 1950s or the 1960s. And I'm like, honey, I'm not that old. So it's so great that on this little fold-out map, and I'll include this in the description below. Everybody should get this book. I love this book. It starts from Adam and Eve, and it creates these timelines, and they have a timeline for the biblical Christianity, world events, inventions and technology, and then civilization and empires. So you can see what was going on. So in the time of Isaac, son of Abraham, you also have other things that are happening. The invention of gold jewelry. Stonehenge is mentioned in there, and you can see where it falls on a timeline so that, you know, the kids can kind of rationalize this is what was going on in the world. It shows where the invention of the dictionary happened, where that happened in time. And as this is happening, David becomes king in 1048 BC. I wouldn't have put those two together. I would assume the dictionary was created sometime along when they canonized the Bible. I never would have figured that out myself. So I love that it kind of has all of these things. And, you know, even if you're not a Christian, this still has a perfect timeline of how things have evolved throughout history. So I really like this. If you don't want it in book form, they actually have it in a fold-out form that you can tape and hang up around your room, which I actually have for our science because they didn't have it in hardback. But that is great. And then we have additional things that kind of go with our history and science curriculum. This is a story of Noah's Ark, you know, understanding it, explaining how it actually could have been and was, and answers all of those interesting questions like, can one person really build something that big? And how did it not tip over in the water? And how'd they feed all the animals? How'd they get the animals on there? So I also saw this at the ARC experience, but it was cheaper to buy it in a set from Masterbooks. So we got it there. And this is actually, they tie these books into our elementary world history book. So they sold it as a set, which helped me save money. So they reference these books with the curriculum itself. So we have like an all set in one, which is great. All right, let's move on to science. Now, my kids love science, and myself as well. I am fascinated with biology and marine biology. Basically anything that has to do with an animal or a plant, I want to know more. And I'll tell you that I am such a geek that in high school, when I took biology, I actually set the grade curve for the class. So depending on what I got on my test is what they would set the curve for the class. And it was the only class that I got straight A's in. So every test I took, I got 100% on it because I was so fascinated with how the body worked and how, you know, climate worked and how animals developed and plants. I love plants, obviously. We have huge gardens, and I am so fascinated with God's creation and how it continues to move and evolve, and that everything that is on this earth was perfectly created by Him so that it interworks with something else. So like, you know, we have a balance with our insects and our bugs. We have companion plants that work well with other plants. The fact that we can eat these plants and that they are quite literally medicine. I am amazed by it. So I can't help but want to dive in more and more and more. Also, this might be a lengthy video. So grab you some coffee or some tea or your beverage of choice and sit down and hang out with me. So right now we are working on Deep Sea Ocean. So I picked up a really cute book. It's the Complete Aquarium Adventure Guide. And it breaks everything down from before the aquariums were built, at the aquarium. So this kind of follows you through, like if you went on a field trip to an aquarium, what you would see and experience. It has birds, fish, invertebrates, mammals, reptiles, anything that is involved with the ocean. And it even has activities in it, which I love. Now these, of course, we would actually have to, I would copy these out of the book. So photocopy them so the girls can do them. But it's just built all right here in this nice little package. It has, let me get back to it. I love books that do things. Isn't that cute? So it's got like, they're bingo cards, but you can use them for scavenger hunts. We've got little cards on the ocean zones and explanations on the back. They've got things on coral, moon jellies, sea anemones, and this is like they're question cards. So this is an assignment, a project. Grab a question card and go seek and find your answer. So I love all-in-one books. Something that they can enjoy, something that's visual, tangible, that they can do. And you guys know, because I'm sure I've said in the past, I am an information junkie. I love to read. I love books. I used to manage authors in the past, and I appreciate a good book. I know what goes in to make these, and I appreciate good, hard work in something. We also have zoo adventures. So this is just like the aquarium book, but this is for the zoo. How many animals were on the ark? And I think I actually got all these in a gigantic set, or did I? Nope, this is the zoology set. So I bought these in a big set. And they're generally, if you buy them in the set, they're cheaper. God's Amazing Creatures and Me. This is a devotional book for ages 6 to 10. I like this. This is new, but this was part of this curriculum set. Here is the teacher's guide of how you were going to use all of these fabulous things. So it uses all the books. It has all the activities and worksheets in here. This is supposed to be for grades 4 through 6, but we will make it work for us. Also, if you are finding curriculum and it says grades like 4 through 6, you can make it work for you. Pick the worksheets you know your kids can do, photocopy them out of here so that you can use them again at a later time. So this is for our animal and oceans books, and then I've got one on bugs. I love bugs. So basically ecology. So we have our bug books. We've got God's Big Book of Animals. This one's heavy, but yeah. I love books, but this is just information. So as we're looking for things, if they want to look at moths, butterflies, moles, kangaroos, they're all in here, which I love. And they actually make, oh, I think my girl, nope. I was going to say they may have run off with it. This is that other thing I was telling you. This is science. I've got a bad glare. I've got the window in front of me. But this is all science, and this folds out into a really long, not so much a timeline, but it's like little sections of information, and they have it set up so that you start with, you know, the sky. So you're going to cover planets, weather, atmosphere, and then it moves down in to all the way through the earth to the core of the earth, and at the bottom of it, it has like the core of the planet. So these are so cool. But they have quite a few of these, so every time they come out with one, I want to get one. Sorry about that. A battery started to die, so I had to run upstairs and grab my other one. While I was up there, I went ahead and grabbed some more of our books. Hi, Sweet Pea. So, ecology, bugs, and then I grabbed a Stargazer's Guide to the Night Sky because we have a telescope. Mia is absolutely fascinated with astrology and planets. So when we get to this, we'll use this book to help us. Mwah. But I also have a few more of those coming. And right now we are working on Heaven and Earth. So this is, of course, another Masterbooks curriculum. This is our science. It's covering, we just finished Weather and Water. Right now we're in the middle of our universe. So we are in the middle of the ocean. Nope, we're still in our Weather and Water. We're almost done with ocean, sea floors, and then we're moving on to our space models. And then after that, we get through space. We move on to geology. So, which is part of planet and the planet Earth. We'll start looking at rocks and formations, minerals, mountains and movements, things like that. So this says, I believe this is 1st through 3rd grade. It doesn't have a grade on it. I think this is probably a little bit more advanced. So maybe 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th grade. But it gets us started. It's a quick, good amount of information. It has fun facts. It has questions in here like, okay, what did we learn? So we're going back over and discussing what we just read. And then it has a section to do experiments if you would like, and then take it further. So it'll give you some questions to go and look up and to research on your own. So depending on how advanced your kids are or how far you want to go with it, it has the information in here. This is set up basically the same as the rest of their books. With this particular one, it comes with the teacher's guide that holds all the worksheets in it. So this is the information that you're reading and getting your sourcing from, and then it has the worksheets and the experiments separate. I also grabbed one of our math books. This is a level 1 math book. Depending on the child, kindergarten, you could probably do this for VPK too. So kindergarten to 1st grade, I mean the very first page we're doing, you know, numbers 0 through 9. And it works through the numbers, goes through hundreds, tens, thousands. We do shapes. We're counting by 2, 5s, and 10s. It's got addition, subtraction in here, a little bit of time, fractions, just an introduction to fractions. It touches on a few things that you might think are a little too advanced, but really they're not. It's just an introduction of like what happens to a square when you cut it in half. It was a whole and now it's half. And those two halves, what do those look like? Are those rectangles? Is it still a square? So it just presents some questions. Yeah. And it follows the story of 2 kids talking to their grandparents. So it's got 2 children in here, Charlie and Charlotte, and it's basically their time they spend with their grandparents, and their grandparents are talking them through, learning about math and how they use it in day-to-day life. So I do like that because then we can take that and apply that to our day-to-day life. So I think I covered everything. Oh, what's homeschool without a homeschool library? This is probably my favorite part. So I have a tremendous love for books. If I had the opportunity, I could probably put the library out of business. But so I love, hang on, my nose is itching. I love classical literature and I love classical books, but I also, in general, just love really good authors. C.S. Lewis. So this is the Chronicles of Narnia. It's a complete set, and they are not ready to read this now, but I can read it to them out loud, and they have seen the movie, so it's nice to say, you've seen the movie, let's go read the book, because I can guarantee you 10 times better than the movie. So we are building, and if you're just starting to homeschool, you will begin to do this. You'll start building a homeschool library. We have J.R.R. Tolkien's The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings. We're fans. Yeah. Mommy's a big fan. The girls, quickly joined in. So yes, we love that. I have read all these books. They are wonderful. I think they're perfectly suitable for kids, maybe 12 and up is what I'm going to go with this, because obviously death and such. But you do what you do as you're comfortable as a parent. I am okay with Mia reading these. I had no problem with them watching the movies. They're not full of nasty words or anything like that. A Wrinkle in Time. I read this as a child. It was part of my, English curriculum, reading curriculum. So I loved the story. Didn't care for the movie, but I absolutely loved the story. So this might just be extra reading, something that we can sit down and do together, a fun story to read. And then I went ahead and got a whole bunch of the classics that are illustrated inside. I love Heidi. I mean, this is a book from my childhood. Like, I still have mine. This has cute little pictures in it, which I absolutely love. So Heidi, Treasure Island. Y'all can tell I'm serious. I'm a serious book person. Black Beauty. Alice Adventures in Wonderland. The Wizard of Oz. I have an original copy of The Wizard of Oz. It did meet some water damage in a move, and it has molded. I shouldn't hang on to it because it's molded, but I am like, I can't part with it. And it smells horrible too. Little Women. So this might be something to read to the girls. I probably wait until they get just a little bit older before I dive into this. Around the World in 80 Days. So I might wait till they're a little older to read this one too. I don't necessarily know this will hold their attention. But Wizard of Oz, Alice in Wonderland, definitely. Both of my girls are horse lovers, so they might find this story interesting. I don't know. I'm more of the, I love a good book that has history and really deep characters in it and just a good plot. It's got to have a good plot. Well-developed characters. I mean, it needs depth to it for me to like it. So I can be a little critical with my books. You know, exciting adventure. This is a good story, A Wrinkle in Time, full of adventure and make-believe and, you know, that whole science fiction thing. But same thing with C.S. Lewis. Amazing author. If you've read some of his books on Christianity and just worldview and things, they are something different. What?
Are you supposed? Because I had
two packages, 1 cup of water.
Okay, with that.
And then microwave for a minute.
Okay.
She's making some oatmeal. She's being very patient, waiting on me to finish doing this, and I'm almost done. So I think that was, yeah, that's all our books for now, and then I've got a few more on order. And I love, so I mean, I love Masterbooks. It's got a little message in here. We are so very thankful for an opportunity to serve you, the Masterbooks team. And Maddie filled our box here. Says, my flesh and my heart may fail, but God is the strength of my heart and my portion forever. Psalm 73, 26 through 28, and signed Maddie's name. So I greatly appreciate, you know, Masterbooks. They have just the resources that they have, and they group books together so that you can use them together. They've done the hard work for me, and I just appreciate that. We also use apps. We have the Hooked on Phonics app. We have tried the ABC Mouse app. We are using it's Time for Learning. I think that's right. That seems to work really great for math for Mia and Hannah. The science and such, not so much. So we're using what we can since I've already purchased it for a year. And then we find other things online that we can use. So I encourage you, when you jump into this, do some research. You are going to change curriculums. Not once, not twice, 3, 4, 5 times. You will be,
10 times.
or 10, I hope it's not 10 times, but you will be looking for that fit for your family. And you know, I might use Masterbooks for a few years. Something may change and I have to switch. I've heard great things about Abeka, so I might research that, and in time we might lean a little bit more that way as Hannah is growing. You know, maybe an online-based curriculum that she can follow might work better for her. We don't know yet. So be open-minded when you're approaching your curriculum and what you would like to do. Definitely buy some bookshelves, lots of bookshelves. Get you a library card. You absolutely do not have to go and buy all these things. I have a love for books, and this is so easy to go to the library and get, and it costs you nothing. So, and a lot of libraries do not put limits on their children's books, and they will automatically renew it instead of you having to go in and renew it because it's a children's book, and they give you extended time to read it. So instead of giving you 2 weeks, they might give you 4 weeks. Just find out what your local libraries do for kids. So guys, yeah, that's what I have for you today. I know this is a little different, but I had all of the curriculum here sitting in boxes. I needed to unwrap it and go through it. So I thought, hey, I'm going to share this with you guys. If you have any questions pertaining to homeschool, I can try to answer them. Just put them in the comments below. If anything, I can at least point you to a resource and try to, give me just a second, honey. I can point you to a resource that can answer your question, possibly. Other than that, you know, I don't think I could tell you anything you don't already know as a parent or anything you don't already know as a mother. Honestly, there is no greater teacher than yourself. There is. No, Bella. Go lay down. Leave her oatmeal alone. Go lay down. Lay down.
You have food.
There is no greater teacher than yourself. God gave you these children. He knew what he was doing. He's prepared you. So don't doubt yourself. You are absolutely equipped to teach your children. So guys, thank you so much for joining me on my journey today. This will be a very long journey for me and probably one of the most fulfilling journeys of my life. So guys, thank you for joining me today, and I bless you on yours.